Welcome to Common Knowledge Systems, because none of us are as smart as all of us. Client acquisition, how anyone can and should answer your phones perfectly. There is an optimal path to that initial inquiry into your services. This path must not only lead the prospective client down a series of emotional and psychological checkpoints, it must also adhere to the internal processes required to obtain and manage a new client. These are substantial expectations that are usually thrust upon the least experienced and informed employee in your company, simply because those better disposed have more substantial roles in the organization. We expect so much from those who answer our phones based on limited training, memory, and a pleasant demeanor, and put them in a busy, sometimes hectic work environment to be the face and heart of our company. Given the opportunity, we can work together and help define the optimal approach to your new customer inquiries. Through our new client onboarding process, we get to know your company, the services you offer, your internal processes, as well as understand your company philosophy regarding customer relationships. We also discuss questions we can expect from the caller and define the best answers. What we end up with is what we refer to as the optimal path on which every employee will lead your prospective clients. Once accomplished, we create an online portal specific to your company. Although your interests may lie with customer acquisition, your portal is a company knowledge base, offering every employee the acquired and shared knowledge of your firm, as well as any web-based resource on demand. This video deals with the knowledge required to answer your phones correctly. The portal used in this demonstration is meant to highlight the functionality of a web portal. The content is 100% customizable, and as previously mentioned, we consult with our clients to establish their own content based on their exacting criteria. So keep in mind that the approach, services offered, frequently asked questions, etc. are there just as an example. Your portal would mirror your own standards. When logging into your portal, you are brought to the post-login screen. Many of our clients use this as a virtual bulletin board, sharing information and directives without the need to individually contact their employees. Relevant articles, new company procedures, announcements can all be easily posted and shared throughout the firm. However, this is an example of an incoming call, and assuming that the phone is ringing, I will click on the incoming call icon. Our standard greeting is made available, and based on the caller's inquiry, I can add a description of the call if available, and then click on the call type to advance to its specific directives and approach. In this example, it is a new inquiry. Again, if your firm provides other types of services, these would be perfectly reflected in your own portal. Our next question permits us to approach the call properly, asking all the required questions as well as providing all the required directions and support. We put an emphasis on support, since during this evaluation process, the caller will likely go with a firm that makes them feel most understood. And for this reason, we offer not only scripts, but also emotional disposition. The text in red is not part of the script. It is a directive for the employee, in this case, to listen well and empathize with the caller. We can then input or add to the call's description and once again choose the specific topic, providing us access to those tailored scripts. When establishing your process, we need to ask these questions, which in turn will affect how we continue the conversation. We can then once again try to empathize with the caller and start the process of acquiring the relevant data from them. This question is a good example of how we can rely on a first-day employee to deal with the call perfectly. Being their first day, they know little about company procedures, and when faced with one of a multitude of questions for which they do not know the answer, CKS provides them with the knowledge they need to properly deal with any question, as well as any resource that could prove helpful. In this case, we ask about legal aid, and since our firm does not offer it, we can respond in kind as well as provide them with the resources they need. However, legal aid is not required, so we can continue. Any legal notice or disclaimer can also be dealt with if need be, as in this example. CKS also helps you track results from any conversation, providing for essential statistics designed to help improve the process. This script deals with the advertising source that the caller used to find you. Later, you will be able to determine how many calls came from any given source as well as how many actually yielded a customer. Employee closing ratios, call sourcing, or any criteria you choose as a performance benchmark can be tracked. Since we specified that this was a divorce case, the employee is able to ask for all the relevant data specific to this call type. Once accomplished, it can be sent to the appropriate person with all the initial information in place. Keep in mind that callers will have questions of their own, predictable questions such as pricing, timeline, etc. Callers' questions form the basis of their evaluation and must be dealt with in the best way possible. During our setup, we would have planned for these questions, enabling us to provide the optimal answers, catering to their needs at any time to then resume the optimal path we set forth. Here's another example that empowers your employees. We can embed resources to educate your employees on terms or procedures they may not be aware of. This permits your portal to be a training tool as well as a constant guide for your employees. Once we have acquired all the relevant details, we can then bid the client farewell and move on to bringing this opportunity to fruition. Although the call has ended, the employee must still relay this information to the appropriate recipient. This may also be context sensitive, allowing for different instructions based on the call type as well as the call result. Once complete, the employee can now close the session, saving it and making the information and statistics immediately accessible to management. The end result is the establishment of a bulletproof procedure that will make sure every incoming call is dealt with effectively and every income opportunity is handled in the best way possible. And this, no matter your employee's experience or knowledge of your operations. If you would like to have a one-on-one demonstration specific to your company of our services and our portals, please give us a call or just send us an email. We would be happy to oblige. Thank you for your interest in Common Knowledge Systems.